my one of my favorite graphs on this, and what I think is like probably maybe humanity's like most important graph is um is a plot of like the computational complexity increasing over time and like kind of like predictions and kind of like estimates over time plotted against different models of what it would take to like emulate a whole human brain. So that means like if you were to scan a whole human brain and then simulate it in a computer, and emulate it, like what level of computational complexity would you need? Well, that depends on like what structure of a model you use to represent the brain. Like if you figure out and you solve how the brain works, maybe you can like develop functional units. Or if you then have to scan every neuron and every synapse, then you have like the synaptic connectome. Or if you say, no, there's actually like way more channels in between the neurons, and we have to like capture all of the electrophysical interactions between each of the neurons, then that's like a harder computational complexity. No, actually, we have to like model all of the neurons themselves, like their internal processes and like the proteins going on. Like that's like a dramatically like higher level of computation that you need. And so if you like plot these different assumptions, and then you like just see where like computational power is going to go, it just shows you that depending on the model that you pick, we're going to be able to do this by 2040, like 2035, 2040 is where I think it's like most likely. It might take longer if we end up finding out that like, I don't know, maybe it turns out that like Penrose was right and like the microtubules in the brain actually do something like really important. Very low likelihood, but like it's possible. But if we can like figure it out, if the brain is like very classical, which is where like the dominant, most people in neurotech think this, then we should have it by 2040, at the like outside of a kind of conservative guess, which means that it's probably possible to do in the 30s, like early 30s. So that means that like probably if people worked super hard on this, you could do it even sooner, like in an Apollo style program level. So you could get into like human emulations sometime between 28 and 35. And so like and all of this drops out of like just the looking at the curves and where they're going, thinking about the other technologies. What are the things you have to invent to get there? Like what are the recording methods that you might need? What are the, and so on. So you can like just keep like looking at the tech tree and you can end up with something like this.